Uh, So I crashed my bike. There's a big rock. I'll show you with my hand, but it's bigger than my hand, tall, and like I barely saw it. It was like right between there's a shadow on the road, and it was right between the sunlight and the shadow. So I saw something and I was like, I'm not sure what that is. Might be a rock. And then I hear a clunk on my front tire. And then I was just thinking, like, I don't have energy for quick reaction time. And then next thing I knew, someone was asking me if I was alright. And I was on the ground. And I was just focusing on getting my energy together that I needed to get back up. And I mean, I've crashed going faster than this, and I've been fine. And I've hit rocks before, and I've been fine. I think it's just uh, I think it's just how tired I was. I didn't have the reaction time that I needed. And also, at the times when I crashed, when I was going faster, I was going downhill, and there's more time to respond when you're going downhill. And I usually come up with some pretty good ideas of how I can move my body that I just never thought of before until I'm in the moment. Um, but yeah, I've crashed going like way, way faster. I was going 25 this time when I crashed, and that messed me up pretty bad. I Yeah, I guess I went unconscious, but because I thought someone was just standing there right when I crashed, and he was just really fast to come over and ask if I was all right. Um, but no, later on I heard him talking to someone, and he said he was driving by when he saw it happen. So I think I was unconscious, and I think he woke me up from being unconscious. But yeah, he was helping me out a lot with the things that he was saying. He was helping me uh, just like get my thoughts together so I can really focus on getting up and making sure that I'm all right. Which I never actually got the energy to do that until probably like many hours after the crash. So it did end up coming. It's just it wasn't as fast as it usually is after I crash, which is only usually just a few seconds. And so he was helping me out, and then someone else came along, and they were helping me out too, and then someone else was there, and then a fourth person was there, um, and I guess the police were there too. But I was only focusing on what was right in front of me, which was my hands and mostly, yeah, my my hands, well, my elbows and my knees were at a 90-degree angle, and I stayed in that position the whole time. The whole time that I was laying down, and and someone cuts my backpack off, and I'm like, I'm not sure who that is. And then later on, I hear like snip, 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 and my clothes are like being released from me. So I realized that my clothes are being cut off, and so at that moment, I realized that the paramedics were here because only paramedics would cut your clothes off, and so I was like, dang, is that right? Well, this must be pretty serious if someone called an ambulance, but like I have no problem with that because I'm not capable of getting up. That's what I was thinking, and yeah, and then all of a sudden I hear like some counting down or counting up, like 1, 2, 3, and then I was lifted up off the ground, and I realized that I was on a stretcher, and then they put me in the ambulance, and they were trying to ask me questions, but my mouth was too messed up to really say anything. And then I was mainly just focusing on that energy that I needed in order to be fine and to be able to get up. And then next thing I knew, I was in an MRI machine at the hospital, and again, that's all I was thinking about. So I guess it seems like I was like halfway conscious for all of it. Although one thing I do remember is uh, so the EMT, when they were transferring me from the ambulance to the hospital, he was having a hard time looking at my face, and so I got his attention to get him to look at me, and he looked at me for like just a moment, and I could tell I couldn't stand it anymore, and he looked away, and then I got his attention one more time, and he did the same thing, and then I thought, if I keep doing this, I feel like I'm just torturing this guy, so I didn't, um, I just let him just keep his eyes in the corner as he was wheeling me into the hospital, and then there's two of them, and the other one was in the front when they were wheeling me in. And then, yeah, that's that. Yeah, I want to say thank you to the people that were helping me out, but I can't because um, I'll never recognize them. Like if I see their face, I'll never recognize their face or any of them. So I won't know, and they probably won't recognize my face either because they don't know what my face looks like when it's not covered in blood, when it's not like so fucked up like that. And oh well, I'm just gonna have to let that one go. But I do appreciate it though. Yeah, so the police were there, and um, they were probably the ones that cut my backpack off, is what I'm thinking. And they took my bike, and and they took my backpack, and I was wearing a beanie, and they took that as well, and they took my safety glasses, and they took everything that I thought I lost, besides the backlight on my bicycle. That was the only thing we missed. So I appreciate that they got all my stuff for me. And I ended up. So the crash happened in the afternoon, like 1 or 2 o'clock around there. And then I left the hospital at like 3 a.m. So it was about 13 hours from the time of the crash till when I was released. I cannot move my wrist. That's the most I can move to the right, like this, and the most I can move to the left, like that. Up, that's as far as I move it up, and down, that's as far as I can move it down. So I did some research, and so basically whenever someone has a concussion, if it's bad enough, then their body will enter different positions, and these positions can determine how severe the concussion is. And there's a few of them that mean that the concussion is so severe that the person most likely is going to die, or these other ones where, yeah, it is a critical injury that people die from, and you can know that. So basically, I did some research because I saw a video of someone and they died and their body was in the same position that mine was after the concussion, after the accident, and so yeah, I did some research on it and found that that is a critical concussion, or I should say a severe concussion, and that is actually one that people do die from. So yeah, my arm is it's usable. I can use it for things like I can play the guitar, and unfortunately, it hurts a lot to do just about anything. And I'm gonna start work in a few weeks, maybe in August, maybe like maybe the 10th or 11th of August, like early August. Or maybe I'll start a little bit sooner, but if I'm getting worse, if I'm getting in more pain, if it's worse to use my arm as time goes on, then I'm going to apply for long-term disability and take more time off work. And I would think that would be enough time to heal enough to go to work. I'm pretty sure it would be. I don't know exactly how long long-term disability is, but I know that it's probably long, and it sounds like a long time just because of the name, the long-term disability. So I don't know how long it is, but I'm sure it'll be enough to heal. So I want to show you the position I was in after when I was on the ground after I woke up. I was just laying there like this until the ambulance came, and yeah, I was just focusing on the energy it would take to get up. Like I always do whenever I crash, but this time it was taking a long time for my brain to get that mentality and to get that energy and focus to get up. And that's what I was waiting for. So they were waiting for an ambulance, but me, I was waiting for the energy where I could tell my brain, all right, it's time to get up. Which wasn't happening. It didn't happen. I think I was able to get up maybe about 5 hours after the accident, and I was in the hospital already by then for a while. But yeah, I was just laying here, and a lot was going on around me, but I knew that if I tried to pay attention to any of it, it was not going to be good for me. So the only thing that and it was a conscious choice that I decided the only thing I was going to do was keep my eyes stiff and not look around and just focus on getting up. And there was definitely at one point I saw there was a crowd of people around me, and one person said that she could put my bike in her house, and I knew that there were houses like right. I was like crashed right in front of a neighborhood, so like I knew she probably lived in one of those houses and came out to see what was going on. And the police were there too. I did not know that, but the police were there, and I don't know if I was like in the middle of the street or off to the side. I don't know if the police like closed the street or not. I mean, it would make sense if I was in the middle of the street. Um, but I don't remember seeing any cars driving by. So the first person I contacted after the accident was Dustin, and just I let him know. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not coming in for work today, and I'm in the hospital right now, and basically I'm not okay." Um, is briefly what I was communicating with him, and had like broken arm and it hurt so much, but I still texted it anyways. And I don't know, I never really, I still feel close to my family, but I think it was like maybe a month or maybe a month and a half before I contacted people in my family. Yeah.